The law of attraction tells us that we can be, have, or do anything we want simply by changing our mind and therefore changing our vibrational frequency. When we emit a frequency that is attuned to our desires, we draw those desires into our experience. What we give our dominant intention and attention to, the universe delivers back to us. And we have everything we need within us to change our reality and create success in our lives. For some, this concept doesn't ring true because they have not experienced the magnitude of what can be achieved when they understand how to use the law of attraction intentionally. And for others, they have a different experience that proves to them that this universal law is unwavering. To understand this in scientific terms, we begin with the knowledge that everything is made up of atoms. They are the building blocks of matter and they define matter's structure. Atoms are made of 3 particles: protons, neutrons, and electrons. These components are held together by a charge, namely what is referred to as an electromagnetic force, which is defined as a type of physical interaction that occurs between electrically charged particles. A Rhode Island college syllabus defines electromagnetic force as a force that combines the effects of electrical charge and magnetism. The electromagnetic force can either attract or repel the particles on which it acts. And according to quantum field theory, particles, as in the case of protons and electrons, are excitations of quantum fields that fill all of space, with excitation meaning the amount of energy needed to take a field from the vacuum state to an excited state. One might conclude from this definition that particles can be best described as energy or vibration. Quantum Magazine states in an article, namely, electrons, photons, quarks, and other fundamental particles supposedly lack substructure or physical extent. This article goes on to read, with any other object, the object's properties depend on its physical makeup, ultimately its constituent particles. But those particles' properties derive not from constituents of their own, but from mathematical patterns. As points of contact between mathematics and reality, particles straddle both worlds with an uncertain footing. Referring back to the atoms that these particles create, there are many degrees of attraction existing between them, which causes them to combine and form into molecules, which all masses of matter consist of. Certain molecules are attracted and drawn towards others of the same kind. This is referred to as cohesion, and it is how masses of matter are composed. Cohesion is defined as the act or state of cohering, uniting, or sticking together. Given these explanations, excitations, electromagnetic force, and cohesion combine to show us that energy magnetizes itself to like energy, making the law of attraction a very real and universal law. In more simplistic terms, everything is made up of vibrational energy, and within that sea of energy, things that are alike are magnetized towards one another. So how do we use this law of attraction to magnetize to us the things we desire? If you don't already know, it's important to understand that the human brain is both a transmitter and a receiver of energy. According to the National Council of Sciences, the brain interprets signals like an FM radio. Frequency modulation transmitters send out a carrier radio wave at the channel frequency. Sounds are encoded on this wave as alterations in frequency. Not only can the brain receive and transmit these frequencies, but it can also transform them. Biologically speaking, we receive energy from external sources in several ways. Biochemical processes such as smell, taste, and digestion, electromagnetic radiation in the forms of light and heat, vibration from texture and sound waves, and mechanical energy, which refers to things such as touch and the sense of self-movement. The brain receives most of this energy from the rest of the body and transforms these signals to transmit energy back to the body in the form of hormonal and neural signals. And from there, back out into the world in the form of behavior, speech, and action. What we receive from this feedback loop is our interpretation or perception of reality. And what we transmit is an expression of that perception. And in between is the lightning-fast process of transformation. In the recording of electrical patterns in the brain with EEG machines, the readings change when external stimuli changes. These readings also change when a person's thoughts change. Your thoughts are energy that can be read as electrical patterns in your brain. This energetic frequency, which is smaller than an atom, moves through matter out into the universe, into the sea of all other energy, and links up with the other energies that are like it, cohering and uniting with them. And the energetic frequency that the brain emits can bypass space and time. You have the power to transmit any frequency you choose with your brain simply by changing your thoughts. When you change your thoughts, you change your feelings and your energetic vibration. And when done with consistency, what you draw back to you as your physical experience of reality is likened to those thoughts and vibrations. In other words, when you learn to move past the subconscious mind's survival mode, you can manipulate your consciousness to change your life by placing your attention on specific things, ultimately affecting physical matter with a strong enough vibrational signal. In an article from Scientific America, it's written, "We agree that vibrations, resonance, are the key mechanism behind human consciousness. All things in our universe are constantly in motion, vibrating. Even objects that appear to be stationary are in fact vibrating, oscillating, resonating at various frequencies. Resonance is a type of motion, characterized by oscillation between two states, and ultimately all matter is just vibrations of various underlying fields. Match the vibration, and you can draw anything into your life that you wish. The question becomes, what are you dominantly placing your attention on? What your attention is most dominantly centered upon is what you are experiencing. Ask yourself, what are you magnetically drawing into your experience, and be honest with your answer. Here are a few steps to begin changing your thoughts and your overall vibrational signature in order to manifest something different in your life if you don't like what you are experiencing currently. Become conscious of your thoughts and create the decision to be present with them. Also, make the conscious decision to avoid being reactive to these thoughts so you are able to conserve your energy for creating the thing that you desire. Observe these thoughts and focus on where they are coming from and what they are telling you. Ask yourself if the thoughts are productive regarding your goals, or are they counterproductive to them? If they are counterproductive to your goals, ask yourself what thoughts you could produce that would change them into thoughts that are more productive. Ask yourself if you are open to welcoming new possibilities in your life and explore those options. After you have observed your answers with these questions, you may also be able to observe a new experience of consciousness being created within you just by shifting your thinking. Sit with that new experience of consciousness and allow yourself to bask in the feeling state of it. Once you have done this, just think of something that you regard as beautiful and begin to offer appreciation and gratitude for that thing. Repeat these steps several times per day, especially in the middle of your day's events or when something negatively triggers you. In doing so, you are training your brain to do something different. This type of process is referred to as self-directed neuroplasticity. Neuroplasticity is the ability the brain has to change by creating new neural pathways through growth and reorganization. This creates new circuits and network connections in the brain, resulting in a new frequency that's transmitted. The goal with this type of process is to reshape the brain so that it no longer automatically rests upon critical, worrisome, and negative thoughts and scenarios. In this way, you can create something new. When you use your consciousness to divert your attention, you can create massive changes in your life. If you believe your dream is impossible, or if you believe you must know all of the steps to achieve that dream, the concept of the law of attraction may not have been fully grasped just yet. But know that this law defies physical laws. It lies in the field of vibration where all possibilities can be found and attuned to. And you have been given all of the resources within you to create the type of life that you choose to live. In the words of Napoleon Hill, whatever the mind can conceive and believe, it can achieve.